you want to pause and talk with your grown-ups right now about what cybersecurity is, this is a great time to have a discussion on that. Or we'll just keep going and I'll tell you a little bit more about it. This is for students and for adults who may be learning alongside your children today. So cyber has a definition, and it's something related to computers or information technology or virtual reality. It means like the cyber age, and it has to do with a culture that has to do with computers. And security is, I bet you already know what that word means. It's about being safe and being able to trust that that you are safe. So there are 3 parts to cybersecurity. Those 3 parts make the letters CIA. So you can remember that CIA, like the government CIA, and they are confidentiality, integrity, and accessibility. Well, what do those mean? Those are huge words. So confidentiality you can think of as a police officer. It means that only the right people can enter the building to see your information. This would be like a security guard or police officer waiting at the bank and making sure that if you take money out, it's actually yours. In the cyber way, confidentiality is making sure that your information remains private. And only the things that you choose to share are things that other people can see. Integrity is like the librarian. It's where your information is accurate and trustworthy. If somebody sends you an email or a text, the name that shows up shows that it's the one that you want to be able to see. Does that, or to be able to see their message, and you can get all the pieces of your message at the same time. So a librarian is like integrity. And then with accessibility, that's your UPS driver. This is how your data gets to you. A UPS driver brings your packages to you, and you want to make sure that you get them quickly and reliably. Accessibility maybe is a long word for younger kids, and perhaps you're an older kid and you already know that word, but accessibility means that everyone can get what they need when they need it. So cybersecurity is how people connect to their devices and how they stay safe online. It's how only the right people can see private information, and how you can find the right things without being fooled by people who are trying to trick you, and how you can get online when you need to, like how your Wi-Fi needs to be running in order to get onto the internet. So on this day 1 of cybersecurity, we are going to focus on personal security. That's how you keep yourself safe online. We want to make sure that you know all of the pieces for being safe. So we're going to start with our first game. I'll show you, and then I'll give you the link, and you'll be able to play too. So the first place we're going to go is made by Google. And Google has this really great program called Interland. This is what it looks like here. And in order to play this game, you need to click this link at the bottom. So it's showing a video, but you're going to want to choose this Play Interland link at the bottom here. So let me circle that in pink so that you can see where it is. It's right down here. You're going to choose this link, Play Interland, when we play. And I need to move my controls so that I can circle things on the screen, that sort of thing. They're on the wrong place for me, and that's making it very difficult for me to write some notes for you. So let me move that too, and then we'll play. Okay, so I'm going to click this link in just a second. There we go. Click, click. There we go. And this game will load, and this is going to help us practice with learning about how the internet works and how you can be safe online. So one thing I need to do, if you're in a space where other people are playing too, there's some audio controls that are all the way down here at the bottom of the screen. And they have a sound right here. So you'll notice it's playing sound, which is really distracting, especially if you're in a big group. So you either need headphones, or I'm going to click this button that's right down there, and I'm going to turn off the sound. Ah, there we go. We're turning off the sound. So you may need to do that if you're in a place where other people are using the space. It's quite distracting to have the sound up. Okay, so now we are in this space and we're going to choose this blue button right in the middle that says, let's do this. You can see it right here. There it is. And now we're going to clear all of these. Here we go. And I'm going to choose this blue button. There it is. And I'm going to go to the land that is the orange one. So I'm going to switch to that. I'm having my controls for when I draw are still on my wrong screen. So I'm going to move those for me, and that will make it much easier for me to control this screen for you. Okay, so what I can do in order to play the game is to choose this right here. There we are. This button on the side, and that will turn the whole place to the orange one. This is where we're going to learn to secure our secrets. And when you push the play button, you'll begin to play a game. That is loading, of course. Yeah, there it goes. It might take a little while if your computer is a little bit slower, but it will run on most devices. And we're going to try to get to the Tower of Treasure. So you'll be able to play this if you've ever played a video game. You're going to use your arrow keys to go right and left and your space bar to jump. So we're going to try to grab our messages and our emails, which are private to us. Private just means that you wouldn't want everyone in the world to see it. Private does not have to mean that you have a secret. It just means that if you were having a conversation with your grandma, you might not want your friends to hear that conversation. It's just private between you and your grandma. So the internet has to keep private too. And what we're trying to do here is gather 6 pieces of a message. So the internet is when it sends your information, use spacebar to jump. When it sends your information, it breaks it up into smaller pieces called packets. And in this game, I'm trying to collect all the packets. You're going to play now and see if you can collect both the text message packets and the envelope packets. And when you have all of the packets, 6 of each, then you'll be able to put together your message. That's how things are really sent in the internet. So now it's your turn. I'm going to put up the link on the screen so that you can see, and you'll be able to play this game too. Once you get to the castle, that's where I'd like you to stop, and we'll meet up there before you play the next part of the game. So we'll have a pause here, and we'll see you in a little bit. Okay, hopefully you've had a chance to play the first part and you've unlocked an achievement. Now you should be getting cell phones and other messages that look similar to what we played before. It looks like little calling cards. And if you happen to crash, it's okay. You'll just keep playing and keep trying until you get all of them. And once you've gotten the little blue cards and the little cell phone calls, then you'll be at a tower. And I'm going to show you that in just a minute, but I actually have to finish getting all of my blue cards and cell phones in order for us to keep talking about that. The next part of this game has to do with passwords. And what we're going to be working on is making a password that people can't guess. So when you're making a password, you don't want to use anything that has your name in it. You don't want to use anything like your birthday or any other information that people could look up about you on the internet. So it's private when you make a password, and you don't want to share that information with anyone. So I'm going to share my my game right now again, and we'll see this part where we're going to be. Can we see that? Can you see it okay? I hope so. All right. There it is. So I have secured all of my packets. I've got everything together. And now I'm playing this part where a hacker is going to try to steal my secrets, but I'm going to defend my guard towers with a strong password. I'm going to make sure that I have uppercase letters, lowercase letters, and symbols. So the more things that I can put together that I can still remember, the stronger password that I have. Now you can choose any tower, just go back and forth and choose spacebar when it's time to choose, and you'll play all 5 towers. So I'm going to give you time to do that, and we'll come back together in just a minute. See if you can win all the guard towers. Hopefully you've had time to defeat all 5 of the guard towers. If you need more time, that's fine. Simply pause and come back when you're ready. That's okay to do that. It's totally normal to take a different amount of time than someone else. So want to remember that our information is sent on the internet in packets. So this is like if you had a letter and you ripped it up into different pieces and you labeled each one with a number and you mailed those pieces of a letter to your friend in lots of different envelopes. And when they got it, they would line up the numbers in order to read the whole message. It's because the internet can only take small packets of information at a time. And that's how it's sent around. And the way that we secure our information is by using a strong password in order to ensure that only the person who is supposed to read the letter at the end is the one who can see it. That's why you have to log into your email, or your mom or dad has to log into their phone in order to read a text message. They might have a code on their phone or something like that. And that's to keep your data safe. That's cybersecurity. So another important part of being online is not being tricked by the bad guys. One way that's common that people lose their information is that they give it up because they think that someone is going to give them a good thing, and instead they get a bad thing. So that type of attack where someone takes your information because you gave it to them thinking they were someone that they're not is called a phishing attack. They're the fisherman and you are the fish. You see. And so we're going to play an underwater adventure where we avoid the fishermen and we learn about the types of attacks that can happen when a fisherman tries to go after your information. This is where you might give them your password on accident, or you might help them get into your computer because you think there's someone that they're not. So we're going to learn how to keep those bad guys away by playing the fisherman game. We'll give the link in just a minute and I'll show you how to play first. Okay, so first, when we play this fisherman game, we're going to click the start button on the fisherman. And let's do that. Click start. And then you'll notice, again, we've got sound, so we can turn that off up here. If you are in a place where lots of people are talking, or you don't have headphones and other people are around, you can turn off those sounds up here at the top. There's a different control for the music and the speaking. So perhaps you are used to, you need some help with the reading parts of this. You could leave the microphone part on and that will allow the characters to speak to you, but you could turn off the distracting background music. So that's one thing you can do. And then the controls for this are at the bottom. There's a button called Sure at the bottom right here. And that's how you'll go to the next thing. So if your screen looks a little bit different than mine, maybe it's a different shape, just look for that button at the bottom, even if you have to scroll. So we'll click the Sure button and we'll go to where Turtle's going to keep talking, and we can always hit next. And then you say your name. My name is Charlotte. So I'm going to type in my name. You could also choose a cool animal name or your favorite superhero or a silly phrase that's appropriate for wherever you are, school. Make sure that it's a friendly and kind word. Pick a nickname that this game will call you that is friendly, and let's hit next. And then choose your favorite animal. I really love this guy, the stingray. I got to touch one once in an aquarium and it was kind of soft. And so once I picked my animal and I picked my name, you'll notice it started using my name right there. Might be using your name too. Then you'll get to play. Okay. And it says that if you make a mistake, you'll lose a life, just like any other video game. You can get lives and points. And now it's given me a score. So what you're going to do is select the turtle to start, and you'll hear information about how to play the game. So the important controls are the button at the bottom and following through after he talks to make sure you don't lose all of your lives. Okay, so you're going to play through, read. This is all pretend. So I don't really have this email. This is not really my password. This is not where I live. This is just pretend, and it's only for today's adventure. So don't worry. There's no information that's being taken from you. So you're going to answer questions like this. Okay. And you'll get a correct answer or not correct answer as you play. And you'll just play all the way through until you get back to the island. So that I'm going to give you the link now so that you can play too. Let me just go over and share that other screen with you. It's called The Fisherman. All right, let's get to it. There it is. There's the fisherman. All right, have some time to play and we'll meet you back at the world. I hope by now that you are helping the villagers in the game. You'll be able to choose a villager after you've met the turtle and help all of them as you play through the Fisherman. Okay, maybe you are now you've helped all of the guys and you might be toward the end, the village hall in the center. If you're not quite there yet, that's fine. You can pause and catch up. Once you get to the village hall, you'll have already learned that phishing happens on the phone. Phishing happens on social media. Phishing happens in your email. Phishing happens anytime you're connecting to the internet or even sharing information about your accounts on the internet. It's really important to talk about phishing with the adults that you care about too. Phishing often happens to adults, and especially older adults who don't understand about the internet. You can help your grandparents and your aunts and uncles and the other people that you know that are adults to learn about what to look for when a phishing attack happens. That can be poor spelling, it can be strange grammar, fishy sorts of links. It can be something that sounds like it's too good to be true. When you're ready, play the village hall in the center. Let's take a look at what that'll look like real quick. It's going to look like this when you're ready. When you beat the village hall right here in the center, then you'll be a fisherman expert. A few more minutes to finish playing your game. Hey, did you beat the fisherman? Were you able to outsmart him? I love the end of that game. It's so tricky and fun. I think it's super cool at the end where, well, I won't tell you. If you did it, I'm so proud of you. If you haven't quite yet, keep trying. I know you can. Now, the third thing we're going to do today, our third activity, is from the real FBI, like the government, the Federal Bureau of Investigation. And they thought it was so important for kids to learn how to be safe online that they made a website just for you. We're going to play the real FBI's games. And this might look different depending on what grade you're in. I'm so excited to show this to you. Every kid will learn the same types of skills in this game. But if you're in third grade, you can choose the third grade game. If you're in fourth grade, you choose the fourth grade game. If you're in fifth grade, you choose the fifth grade game, and so on. If you want to have one thing that you're all doing together and you're in a group with multi-age, then pick the penguin, fourth grade. It's right in the middle. So that's the one I'm going to show you now, but you can choose your own grade if you need a different grade. And the way this works is you'll play all 7 missions on the polar island. It is not important if you play 7 of them in a row. You can play them in any order you want, but when you're done, you're going to know all about safe online surfing. That will include a matching game, a treasure hunt, health of your computer, and how to be safe in lots of different ways. This game has a quiz at the end that you will not take unless your teacher has used the teacher sign-up link and has given you access to the quiz. But it's not really important to do the test at the end. What's important is that you play through and get the answers correct. And if you get a problem where you didn't quite get all of them at the same time, maybe you lost all your surfboards or something like that, that's okay. Just go back and play that one again. You can always try again in this game. So we're going to play the online surfing game and be safe from the FBI. So let me post that link for you Here we go. Just a second. Here we are. Choose your grade. Safe online surfing at the FBI. SOS means safe online surfing. Have fun playing, and I'll be back at the end. If you play marine matching and you find that it's a little bit challenging to get the fish into the circle, just move the fish very carefully until the block changes color. You may find that that's challenging. If you're not there yet, that's okay. But if you're at marine matching, make sure that the fish touches the circle and the block changes color. If you do the word search, you can always use the hint in the top right corner. The hint will help you to see the word briefly, and that'll help you find the word. If you play the crossing to safety game, just make sure that you turn the bridges. That's how you get to be able to answer a question. You turn each part of the bridge until you can find a path from one shore to the other. Just make sure that you're working on building the bridge so that you can move to the next level. Okay, hopefully you've had a chance to play through all 7 levels. Maybe you're not quite done, and that's okay. You can finish up in a few minutes. You can pause if you'd like, that's fine. This is what it will look like when you've completed all 7 activities. This might look slightly different if you're on a different grade level, but for 4th grade, this is what it'll look like. You'll have something appear where you can take the test, and this is where the goal of this activity is to get 7 check marks. You won't be able to take the test. You have already learned all of the important parts from this activity before the test. You'll have learned to only trust people that you know online and never to share personal information online, that you only want to have a good time and do safe searching, safe gameplay, and always checking with an adult if you have something that happens that you're unsure of. You want to be a good digital citizen online too, and make sure that the words that you use are friendly, kind, and helpful. Remember, cybersecurity is how people stay safe online. You keep your information confidential, you keep your data with integrity, and you have the right access to information when you need it. It's how only the right people can see private information, and how you can find the right things without being fooled, and how you can get online when you need to. You want to keep that Wi-Fi running. Remember that today was day 1, personal security, how you're going to use passwords and keep your information safe. On day 2, we'll learn about how our devices connect to the internet. Some cybersecurity has to do with devices themselves, even when they're not on the internet. But we'll learn how our devices actually connect up and think about how the internet uses packets to send information all around. I hope to see you for day 2 when we explore more about cybersecurity. Thank you for being here today. Have a good night.